All right, Johnny, how are you today?
Yeah, good Stu. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. What's going on?
A lot going on at the moment, but more to be
Really?
revealed in this episode. Yeah,
All right, good. Well, I'll look forward to that.
yeah.
So, what are we speaking about?
So let's start with the housing market, which has hit historic highs in terms of purchases,
Mm,
according to September data. So there were 53,000 transactions in September, which equates to a 40% increase on September last year. And it's also, since they started recording the transactions, it's the highest month in terms of sales in a month.
on record.
Yeah, on record, yeah.
Are we talking about new construction, second hand? What are we talking about?
So there's a bit of both. There are a lot of new constructions going on at the moment. I believe on the annual growth, new places, new constructions account for a lot of the increase. Uh, from personal awareness and understanding, there's a lot of new constructions that have been finished recently and close to being finished.
Yeah,
And so a lot of transactions probably going on with regards to them. Yeah.
yeah. I did notice recently a lot of cranes. I can't remember exactly what part of Madrid it was, but it was on the outskirts somewhere. A huge amount of cranes, so a
Yeah.
lot of construction activity going on.
Yeah, I think anywhere you go in Madrid, you'll see cranes because there's either
Yeah,
works or new properties being built.
yeah. It's amazing because the last housing bubble that we had here. I don't want to harp on too much about this, but the last housing bubble that we had was a similar thing. It was cranes everywhere, construction workers or building workers everywhere you went. The sector was really overheated. Then it crashed, and then everything disappeared overnight. I mean, even some flats that were half built were just abandoned. And the funny thing is that some of those half built flats that were left standing in 2012, 2013, or perhaps even earlier, are being finished now.
Wow. So that's
Mm.
like a 10-year difference.
Yeah, there was a shell sitting there for 10 years, and they've finally got around to. I don't know whether somebody else bought it or whether it's the same constructor who just had to put it on ice for 10 years. But it's amazing to see that these shells, that some of them were occupied by squatters, are now turning into new housing for families.
Indeed, yeah.
So the property market's extremely hot. What were the is it countrywide, or are there certain areas that are better than others?
So I think the in terms of transactions, Andalusia was the leading region, followed by Catalonia, Valencia, and Madrid. And in terms of actual increases, Navarra was up there as the top in terms of what's seen the greatest increase in terms
Really?
of transactions. Yeah, surprised me as well. But yeah, Navarra seen the greatest increase.
Yeah. And what are they saying? That people have got a lot of money in their pockets because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's burning a hole, and they want to spend it? Is it?
Essentially, yeah, it comes down to that. So last
Mm.
year, of course, was the lowest on record in terms of transactions due to a lot of the restrictions. And now, the economy is starting to open up. And like you say, people have got more savings and they want to put it towards property investments or property
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
purchases.
yeah,
Probably
yep,
hence the
yep.
drive that we've seen, yeah.
Good, good. And do we know if it's mainly local or local market purchases, or there's foreign purchases happening as well?
I didn't get down to that level of detail, but I would suspect it's a bit of both. Particularly maybe on the
Yep.
coastal region, there's a lot of maybe foreign investors,
Yeah,
and then maybe in some of the more inland cities, people who are more local.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, those areas you mentioned there, Malaga or Andalusia, for example, and Levante, obviously, are the hotspots for foreign buyers. So probably there's a bit of both, right?
yeah,
That's it. I imagine that is the case. Good. Now,
yeah.
so the property market, hot, 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 as I mentioned in a video the other day. So,
hmm
Johnny, you want to announce that you know firsthand just how hot the market is, right?
I do, yeah. So I became a property owner this week,
Good.
which is very.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, wasn't it? It was an interesting experience. Like you say, I noted at several points throughout my search that a lot of people would say, "Oh, this is a great time to get in. Interest rates are so low, they're going to go back up.
Yeah.
Property prices are low at the moment, they're going to go up over time." So
Yeah.
I definitely noticed that. And yeah, it was one of the factors that played into my decision to purchase a property at this time.
All right, good. So it sort of pushed you towards buying to get out of the rental market, those factors that we just mentioned. So what was the experience like looking for property? Now, we're not going to say exactly where you bought, but it's on the outskirts of Madrid in one of these cities that have, well, it's a fairly big city, I imagine, on the outskirts of Madrid. And what made you choose the area that you chose?
Yeah, so I was looking for something that long term would be a good residential area, but that could, has a lot of things going on in terms of activities. That's a nice
Yep.
place to live, both today and further down the line, because I wanted to think about the future as well in doing so, and also that had good kind of value for money, because of course, property prices in Madrid center are sky high. But if you go to some of these, like you say, outside cities, you find much better value for your money, and you can still at the same time be well connected to the city.
Yep, yep. So we'll just we'll put this into some type of context or perspective for people who maybe don't know Madrid. Madrid's a fairly densely populated urban city, not very big. I think it's only, I mean, if you went from north to south, it wouldn't be very far, would it, Johnny?
No.
10, 15 kilometres maybe, east to west, not that far either. But all of these important cities, and I'll say they're cities because they have separate town halls and they're separated administratively from Madrid, and basically that's where the population of Madrid's moving to, or at least that seems to be the case. I know I live in one of these places here. Rivas, the place that you're moving to, also similar, and there's various places around the city, right, that have similar characteristics.
Exactly, yeah.
And so what do you think the main attraction is? Do you think it's just people getting out of Madrid like yourself because property prices are too high, or people are looking for more residential areas, or what do you reckon?
I think it's a bit of both. I know in my case it was particularly around the prices. I do enjoy, because I obviously I'm still here at the moment. I'll be moving very shortly. I've enjoyed living in the center of Madrid. There's a lot going on. Particularly as a young person, you got a lot of stuff to do and you're very well connected.
Yeah.
But further down the line, I think when it comes to family planning, it'll be quite hectic to raise a family in the center of Madrid, and you'd much prefer to do it in probably one of these outside cities where it's a bit less chaotic.
Yeah, and I think that's the idea a lot of people have. I mentioned recently in a video that the place where I live, the population's grown by some 25,000 people over the last few years, and you can see a lot of families with young kids around the place now. That's right, and a lot more traffic problems as well, unfortunately, which is the downside when the population grows by such a large amount.
Yeah.
But nothing much you can do about that. So personal experience, Johnny. How hot was the market? Was it like I read the other day that if you don't put a deposit down, you're going to lose it? How many places did you see?
Oh, I saw quite a lot of places, probably in the range of 20 to 30, I would say.
20 to 30 places. All right.
Yeah, and I know on the property that I did finally decide on, I was kind of pushed to make a deposit because it was a good property and there was other people interested in it. However, I was waiting for a lawyer to review the kind of the deposit contract that we'd done. So yeah, I felt the pressure in that moment as well. In terms of prices, though, I think I caught it maybe just after the sweet spot, so it wasn't quite at the point where prices were overvalued. But
so you think things have changed since you signed on the dotted line?
Yeah, I think so, because when I was starting to look, I think, people watching may be aware of what's going on in the US market, which is, it's a crazy situation as well. They were already talking about the US market's situation when I started looking. But the same hadn't really yet been reflected in the Spanish market. But now I think we're starting to see a bit more of that.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
All right, good. And what was the process? Was it an easy process?
It was overall, I'd say it wasn't too bad. Going through as a foreigner buying a property in Spain, not particularly aware. I think once I read up about how things work, it gave me a lot more confidence and helped me to navigate what I was doing. Probably the major hurdle was when it came to mortgages. Because that can take quite a long time, particularly to get through the economic study, to get your property valuation done, and then for the people at the bank to approve the whole operation.
Yeah. And just to put it on the record, you bought second hand?
Yes, I bought a second-hand property, yeah.
And any reason behind that, rather than buying off plan, as they say, or something new?
Yeah, I think off-plan prices were quite out of my budget.
Okay.
So there was no way I was going to be able to afford a reasonably priced off-plan property.
Yeah, because in the area that you bought, so we just mentioned that on there around Madrid, there's a fair bit of a lot of cranes can be sighted. So is that the same where you're moving to? Is there a lot of new activity as well?
Yeah, there is one. There is one quite big development which is ongoing out there as well, and then in the city next to it as well, there's another major development. So yeah.
Yeah, I've also heard they're opening a massive shopping centre in that part of town as well. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least you'll have somewhere to shop. That's it.
Yeah, indeed.
All right. Good. Anything else on the topic, Jonny?
No, I think we've kind of talked about it. Yeah.
All right. Good. What's next?
Yeah. So for our last topic, we've got Bitcoin ETFs, which are now being made available in Spain. So an ETF is an exchange traded fund. If you think about funds that you invest in, you buy participations in the fund based on its performance. It can go up or down. The difference with an ETF is that it's listed on a stock market and it has a quote, so that price can change through the course of the day. And now essentially what's happening, is that different kind of investing kind of hedge funds are making ETFs that are linked to the performance of different cryptocurrencies available.
Yeah. So the cryptocurrency world, I mean, I'm not really in this world. I get a lot of spammers on the channel leaving comments telling me that it's the best thing they ever did. I probably get about 20 or 30 people every day trying to tell me that. So it's a hot market still. We know that Bitcoin is the one that everybody talks about, but there's a lot more to it than Bitcoin, Jonny, I imagine, right?
Yeah, well, the idea behind the cryptocurrency kind of phenom is that it's a decentralized finance system, and that is why up to this point governments and central banks are kind of warning people against it, saying that it comes with high risks. Obviously, there are people speculating on it as well, but the idea with these ETFs is that you can invest in a fund that's linked to the performance of a cryptocurrency without holding a cryptocurrency.
Oh, okay, good. Now, you're probably aware, you're a basketball fan, so no doubt that you are, that the LA Lakers home has recently been, I think they're changing the name of the stadium, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the Crypto.com Arena now. I was surprised to see that, but yeah, clearly crypto is starting to make an impact on wider society.
Well, it's a huge investment. So I think I read something like 700 million. For, I don't know how long the period is, but a big investment that they're making to get their name. So yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and I know of this exchange as well, and they've really been going at it with the marketing efforts. So this tops it all off, really, though.
Yeah, well, again, so I'll just go back to what I said before about the amount of spammers that I get on the channel. So I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've seen people leaving comment spam before. You see people saying, click on this website, but the crypto spam is something that I've never experienced before. So when you see this level of spamming, can we trust it though?
That's the thing, because I get it a lot on my channel as well, even though I'm quite a bit smaller in scale compared to you. But essentially, these are mainly bot accounts that are auto-generating the comments, and that's how they manage to put out such a big volume. And I mean, obviously, I would recommend people do their own research on cryptocurrencies, because there's people who are really for it, people who are really against it. I personally, I sit somewhere in the middle. But it's difficult to filter out what's real and what's not real when you're being heckled by these spam accounts on every video.
Well, it's got so bad that I've had to put the word crypto and Bitcoin down as a word that automatically goes into spam, because it was amazing.
I think I might have to do something similar to my channel as well as it grows.
Yeah, because I mean they look like genuine accounts, but they all read the same. It's like my life has changed dramatically since I invested in crypto, and anybody who doesn't do it is a fool in today's economy. They all read the same.
Yeah, the thing you got to look out for is in YouTube comments, you're not allowed to give like an email address or a phone number, so they'll always put it spaced out or with dots between the numbers. So that's a key telltale that
they say telephone 3.4.9. I've seen it here, or WhatsApp this number, and it's a really serious spamming problem. So this is a worldwide phenomenon. Is there any talk of the Spanish markets getting involved?
So when you say the markets, do you mean in terms of it being adopted in the economy, or in terms of
you mentioned these ones are being listed so people can invest. Are they listing on Spanish exchanges?
So in a lot of them are listed on. So the ones I looked at, they listed on German exchanges, but through Spanish brokers. Renta Cuatro is making it available to professional investors in Spain. And then some of the smaller European investing platforms for kind of the everyday investor. I haven't been able to confirm it when I looked on a couple of them, but I believe are looking to adopt it as well.
Okay, all right, good. Yeah. All right, good. Anything else on the topic, Jonny?
That was all, Stu.
All right, fantastic. Good speaking to you. Good speaking to you again, and enjoy your new home.
Shall do. Most likely next week's episode will be from there.
Oh, we might have a different background next week. Okay,
we might indeed. Fantastic. Well, yeah, we most likely will. Maybe the poster will be the same, but then the wall in the background, yeah.
All right, good one. All right, good one, Jonny. We'll talk. See you later.
All right. See you later, Stu.
Bye.